Hi guys, so this isn't a full fly video as per se, so what we're doing here is we're going to, well, I'm tying a streamer, but this is to show you how to do a level tinsel body. So the video itself will start in a few minutes, and hopefully this is what we're going to, well, it is what we're going to end up with in the end of it. So level tinsel bodies for streamer flies, but with adaptations to other tie-in as well. So enjoy the video. Hi guys, we're going to tie another streamer. This time is the Cassablanca. It's a Carrie pattern. So I have here a size 2 long shank. This is a partridge Carrie pattern, and I'm going to start off where I'm putting my tail and tag in with a fine tying thread. So I'll attach that and snap it off. So the tag on this fly calls for a fine gold oval, so I'm going to attach in. Now this is metal, so I'm putting on a few turns. I'm not necessarily going to leave those on, and I'm going to wrap backwards. For maybe 5 or 6 turns or so, and then I'm going to come forwards over the top of them. They'll hold themselves in place whenever I take off the wraps that tied the initial bit on. So once I get to the front here, they're holding themselves on. I can take those wraps off. So that is our tag. So the tail on this is red hacklefish. So I'm going to use a slapping here, and what I'm going to do is take off a bunch from either side. I'll set that down, and then I'll take off the same size bunch from the other side, and then I'm going to pair up the two bunches. Make their tips level. Stroke them in position. I'm going to take that out till it's slightly like those. Any fibres that are sort of sticking out on me, I'm getting rid of. Set that up on top, and then we're putting it on like I'd put on a wing, so the pinch and loop. Stroke it in position, wrap back onto it, and then any fibres that are sort of sticking out that I don't like, I'll just remove. That'll give me a nice, neat tail. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in the tail, and then I'm going to tie that off. I'm going to swap over them onto a white type thread. This is a heavier one, just to create an underbody, and I'm going to go to the front here. I'm going to start where the return eye comes, and I'm going to create an underbody with this. Now I'm keeping the tag end here towards myself, and that's on the same line as the return eye was on. And the reason of that is to continue the taper of the return eye. So see, my tie-in silk is now wants to unravel itself, so what I'll do is I'll help it on its way, and that'll flatten it out. And we'll take this on down the body. To create our level underbody. See what way it wants to go again. Still wants to go that way. So unraveling your tie and silk allows it to become flatter so that it can be used to level out. So there was a little bit of a bump obviously created tying these in, so we're not going to go back onto that. So at this point we're going to start to come forward again. Touch and turns, and this time I'm not worrying about it flattening itself out so much, because I want it to get ever so slightly thicker as we come to the front, so it's actually tightening itself up with each wind slightly. And then we'll just come forward. Touch and turns. Till we get to this point again. And then I'll put on a couple of half hitches to hold that in place, and that is our underbody laid. So we'll swap over onto our tying thread. And we're going to do the body in a slightly wider gold tinsel. This is a vintage one as well, so it's metal. So tie that in place on top, fold it over to start it, and begin travelling down the body. So these long shanks, as we've said before, do quite a bit of moving under tension at this end, so it takes a bit of practice. And every now and again I'll just pull against the shank there just to tighten everything up. So we're now approaching our tail. So level of the tail on top. It's probably going to get a slight turn over the tail as it turns, and then we're on the return journey. And I'm just watching that they're close. The underbody of the tinsel means that it shouldn't show through. And what I'm actually doing is I'm laying each turn, it may not be fully obvious here, but on the previous turn, and then because it's metal, as you slide forward you can feel it jumping over the step as it slides forward into place, and you can use that as a guide to make sure that your turns are touching. And neat. Sometimes you'll actually hear it flickering over there. And that's a sort of a tip that can help you get that nice, neat tinsel body. Now you can also wax that first underlayer if you feel like it. So again, as we get towards the end, and because the shank is moving because of the length of it, I'm just supporting it as I put the tension on. Last turn over. I'm actually going to just fold it back on itself, and there's no way that will pull out. And there we go. So that's how to put on a really even and smooth tinsel body. So hopefully that helped some people, and said if you like what you see, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and until next time, take lanes, and thanks for watching.